Hi, it's Tara here from The Sugar Doctor, and welcome to the second part of this series on how to communicate with anyone, or I guess it's kind of how to understand your partner. So what we had to look at in the first part was the 4 different behavioural styles, and they were the type who wants to win, the type who wants to be liked, the type who wants to be safe, and the type who wants to be right. What I'd like to talk to you about today is some overarching patterns that help us to really quickly identify which behavioural style someone is, and also gives us a little bit of an insight into how to, I guess, understand where they're coming from and how to modify our own language and our own communication to better connect with that person. So what we're going to look at today is the difference between the type who wants to win and the type who wants to be liked, which we're going to put on the left over here, and the type who wants to be safe and the type who wants to be right, which we're going to put over on this side here. So the D and the I and the S and the C from disc profiling. So on the left over here with the D and the I, what you find with those types of people is that they tend to be very big picture people. They're fast-paced and they're future-focused. So what does that even mean? For someone like myself, I'm very much an I profile, the type who wants to be liked. My focus is very much on a higher chunk level of information. So what that means is I don't want to hear the detail. I don't want to hear, I got up and then I had breakfast and then I got dressed and then I did this, and that step-by-step kind of building of a story or of logic. What I want to understand what's happening is to come in at the top level, So what do I mean by that? Rather than that step-by-step process, I want to hear, I got ready for work. That kind of encapsulates all of the detail that sits under it. Does that make sense? And you'll find the same thing with the D-style personality, the type who wants to win. That what they really want to hear is the end result first. And then if they want to hear any more detail, what they'll do is they'll ask you for that. Now conversely, the type who wants to be safe and the type who wants to be right, the S and the C behavioural styles, are very much detail oriented, and they're more focused on the past. And they like a slower kind of rhythm of life. So if I were talking to the type who wants to be safe or the type who wants to be right, they need me to build an argument. They need me to build the picture slowly and progressively and step by step in great detail. How does that work in a couple? So I'm very much on this side. Big picture, fast-paced, future-focused. My gorgeous partner is very much on this side. Slower rhythm, very detail-oriented, and sort of tradition-based thinking. So what he wants to hear is that something's worked before, is that it's tried and true. There's tradition and there's history, and he wants to understand the details of why something works or why he should do something. Where for me, I don't need that level of detail. For me, it's enough to see, okay, cool, that will work for me, that will get me here. And that's how, the future, so that's the future focus. So I want to see where it's going to take me in my future, and he wants to see where it came from in the past. So let me give you a really practical example for how we can apply that in a relationship. And I'm going to give you a really basic example just to give you a bit of context. So say I want to go for dinner somewhere new, which I do often, When I first met my partner, what I would do is I would say, oh, there's this new place, it looks really cool, I really want to go there. So for me, it was really sort of, big picture, it's new, it's Mexican, it's fun, I want to be there. Which is really uncomfortable for him. What he wants is more information, he needs more detail. So what he wants to hear is, there's a new place, it's in Newcastle West. It's quite similar to that other restaurant that we went to in King's Cross. I've had a look at the menu. They have a couple of things that I know that you'll like. They have the same meal that you would usually order. And there's also a couple of things that I think you might like to try. We'll be going there probably with, you know, this person, with Bob and Jane, and it's really just going for a quick dinner. We're probably only going to be there for an hour just to catch up and then to go. So can you see how the link between somewhere that we've already been brings the past, and it kind of brings proof to him that it's somewhere that he'd like to go. And he's much more comfortable with that level of detail. Where if I just go with that high, you know, let's go there, it'll be great, come on, then I lose him. And conversely, when he wants me to do something, or when he wants to communicate something to me, it's really important for him to get to the point quite quickly. And then if it's really important, we can go back and we can look at the detail. So I've kind of given him this analogy, you know, sometimes it feels like you're handing me puzzle pieces. And it feels like you're handing them to me one at a time. And by the time you've given me the 50th piece, you've lost my interest. What I really want to see is the picture on the puzzle box. And then I know where we're going, so I can contextualize the puzzle pieces myself. And when I have a pretty clear picture of where we're going, I don't need that level of detail. So I trust that that will help you to be able to begin to identify a little, some more tools around, you know, how to really hone in on who someone is, how they like to communicate, and how you can better understand them. So the next part will be around the energies of each of the behavioural styles. So I'm looking forward to seeing you then. Until then, you can check out my website to get some more information, and we'll talk soon.